Okay, so let's start polishing these highlights a little bit. And we have an issue here where there are no icons because we added a few types that we haven't handled in our highlight component. So let's go ahead and handle those cases and add some icons. So I want to go to the highlight component, and we're going to say else if type equals inconsistent dividends, then we're going to return a component here, and else if type equals, and let's go ahead and grab the declining dividends, then we'll add a component here. And I actually imported a new icon called chart line down, and we're going to import that from our assets folder, and we're going to return that here, and we'll add the styles.icon. And inside here we're actually going to reuse the piggy bank icon, but we'll add another class to it. So let's go ahead and import class names from class names, which we've used before, and we're going to say class names. I'll say styles.icon and styles.upside down, and we'll make sure to return those. And the upside down class is going to just transform, rotate 180 degrees. Alright, so now we have an upside down pig here. And if you don't know what a piggy bank is, then I suggest you go to Google and search for piggy bank. And basically it's a bank, a personal bank that you had at home, and you put money into it. And then if you want to get money out, you put it on its head and you use the knife and you kind of wiggled until the money fell out, which is how I use my piggy bank most of the time. So a pig upside down and money going out, I think, is the appropriate response here. And now we also have a declining dividend yields icon going on here. All right. Now I also want to take a look at these icons, because I want to make them a little bit smaller. So let's go ahead and say box sizing, border box. And actually, I'm just going to check what happens if we do this. All right. So we'll keep it as it is for now, and then put it on the elements that we need it to be on. So we're going to say highlights, and the module, and we're going to say the icon container is box sizing, border box, and then we'll give it a width and a height. And then we might have to do some adjustments here. Let's go ahead and grab it. I'll give it maybe 30. And we'll give it a display flex. And we'll grab all of that and put that inside of the icon container, and then we'll make sure this is slightly smaller maybe. So something like that. All right. And let's go over to our code in the highlight function. Sorry, highlights. And here's where we have all of our determine functions. And I think what I'll do is I'll create a new file in highlights called highlights helpers. And I'm going to put these functions inside of there. And make sure we export that. And we need to grab the get current here. And we'll have to make sure that we import these. So determine growing dividends, determine consistent dividends, and we're going to put in determine ranking, and that also has to take in the stocks now. So let's put that in here as well and export that. And we're going to have to import sort stocks by dividend payout. And make sure we import this here, and make sure we pass in the stocks as well. And now we can remove these imports here. So now our function or our component is a little bit cleaner, but we have the functions here in a highlights helper. And you can see it still works as intended. So now, if we go around these different stocks, then you can see that we get different results in our highlights section. So this LSG stock has declining dividend yields and has only paid out dividends in 6 out of 20 years. And if we go to the Veidekke stock, then we can see that it has growing dividend yields and has paid out dividends in 17 out of 20 years and ranked 2 in stock dividend yield per 1,000. So just verify in our data set that that's correct, and we can see that it is, at least in the regards to both growing dividend yields and consistent yields. So I think we now are at the point where I'm pretty happy with the highlight section, and that means that we are going to go over to building out this resources section, which is going to be pretty small, and then we'll get started on the content area, where we have some juicy components to get to. Alright, so thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you in the next video.